Hello, I'm Gene Barnes, and this is my MIS 670 capstone project, finding the best Kansas colleges and dorms. This project began with searching websites for reviews of Kansas colleges, and more specifically, the reviews of residential areas, dorms, and apartments of those colleges. We used the website Niche as they have compiled a lot of data for more than just the best of the best, but also show on their data board other areas of interest, such as can a student be accepted based on their SAT scores? How successful is the college in terms of enrollment, graduation, job placement? As I've been an employee with K-State's Department of Housing and Dining Services quite a while, I wanted to use this project to help with our business and data understanding of how to ensure we have the best residential areas available to our residential students. Our business intelligence suggests that we always try to improve on maintaining those residential areas. The data provided will allow the department to not only help itself in efficiently managing living spaces on campus, but also further the role of the university by providing a safe, clean environment for our residential students to be successful in their academic pursuits. Let's look now at the code that I've created in Python so that we can see where the data takes us. So, we have our basic loading of Python packages and identification of the data set. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do in this project was introduce some analysis methods that we either did not cover or briefly covered in class. The first method used here, as shown, is part of the web scraping or data collection method, and it's called Selenium. This package allows you to basically select a web browser. In this case, it will be Chrome. You can apply a URL to this, and then as long as there is data to scrape off of that particular URL, it will go through and capture the data. One of the interesting parts of this package is that it allows you to automatically select the next page at the bottom of the web page so that you can continue your web scraping until there's no more data to scrape. As we went through this, it was set to a 3-second interval to allow for all the data to be captured. As we go through this, we found that there was 3,047 reviews for K-State in this data set. We tidied it up into a data frame, saved it as a CSV and text file if we needed to use that. And so here we see a sample of that data. We duplicated the efforts here for the University of Kansas reviews, and here we found that they only had 2,967 reviews. Again, cleaning up that data. So we did find some interesting stuff here. We went through and captured all the data, and as we see here on the Niche website, Kansas State actually ranked at number 200 out of 500 the top universities. In this case, we expanded the search to only Kansas colleges. So here you see K-State was ranked highest at 200, followed by Emporia State, Pittsburgh State, Washburn, and Haskell Indian Nations University. Even though this doesn't show all of the data, if we were to continue down, you would find that the University of Kansas has no ranking. So we've already covered our problem statements, our business and data understanding here. So we have chosen here in our data cleansing and text preparation to use two variables, one for KSU, one for KU. So you could just basically run one block of code to clean all of that data up, tidy it up into a data frame, and save it to a CSV. Of the items that we found in this, in the descriptive analytics and the word frequency, is that both KU and K-State use the word student. Here we see our plot that shows our word frequency and the number. Notice we have words like love, feel, family is listed here. As we go on down, we will notice that we have several different ways of extrapolating the data. The word with the least amount of use is the word ruin. We go through and we actually made a little word cloud for all of these words in our reviews. We continue this code for KU. Again, here's the plot for the word frequencies and all of the other data that we manipulated through here, analyzed. And we found the least used word here for KU is the word bat. And again, another word cloud for that. So here we see that on our next piece of the puzzle is the content analysis. And we determine here the sentiment of those various reviews. More specifically, for K-State, we had 2,480 positive reviews, 347 negative, and 220 neutral reviews. We go through the same coding except for KU's reviews, and we find they have 2,324 positive reviews, 408 negative reviews, so that's more negative, and 235 neutral reviews. So there was about the same. There was only 15 difference there. Again, KSU beating out here. So the second method that I wanted to introduce into this project that we did not cover in class was called clustering groups. And in this case, you used K-value method. So you read in your data, you pull that into a data frame. We can look at the shape here, which this is going to tell us that there's 3,047 rows, each row being a review, under one column. It converts this into a list. We push the list through transformation here. It converts the words to numbers, and that's what it calculates off of. And then we use what's known as the elbow method. And typically in your elbow method, you would have a bending point. And here around 5 is where you would use for that bending point. We continue through processing the words, the algorithm, turning them into numbers, reviewing all of this data. Here again is the reviews, which here we're going to call a document. So each review is considered a document. And then it looks at all of that, compares it, finds out what different clusters they would be under and listed under. So here we have 3 different clusters, cluster 0, cluster 1, and cluster 2. This has taken those 2 data frames, joined them together to where we have, here's the document, here's the cluster that it is associated with or has been identified with. And as we go through here and look at the numeric value of the words, again, going through what's the most, another way to look at determining the most popular word in a list through clustering is by the numerical value here. So as we get through here, we find our clusters. So it's interesting that all of the clusters here are positive words, or could be considered just positive words. So the words great, students, good, Greek, and people is in cluster 0. State, school, Kansas University, love is under cluster number 1. And cluster number 2 is campus, parking, safe, housing, and fields. So those are 3 clusters. Now, unfortunately, in this data set, in trying to plot what is known as a dendrogram, we did not have enough space to plot this out. So unfortunately, it did not show us everything here. So I'm going to go through here and show that on our storytelling part, the managerial aspects. So in conclusion, what started out as a simple project of finding reviews for the best colleges and dorms in Kansas turned out to be a sunflower showdown between KSU and KU. That was not the intent. However, we found that KSU won this showdown in all analysis. Most reviews, most positive sentiment, better statistics. The managerial implications from this project are that the Department of Housing and Dining Services needs to ensure they maintain a full complement of support staff to keep the residential areas safe, secure, clean, and the residential students happy. Doing so will assist the university as a whole by maintaining higher levels of enrollment and greater revenue to continue providing the best education and student life possible during the college years. And as we see here, as we wrap up, our references are listed, and this actual video is included here. It's going to have a little bit of different. I need to save my video, but it will be included in this notebook. So as we stop sharing here, thank you for watching my presentation. I hope this was fun for you to watch. It was very fun for me to code and get the statistical analysis out of that. So thank you again.